Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the CSS button, which is here. But first of all I want to direct you to the help forum where you'll see there is an entry about CSS here, and this tells you why you should use the button and in detail what's going to happen. So let's try it. First of all, we simply click on it. The important thing I have to tell you here is you need to wait. It's doing a lot of processing. One of the things it's doing is checking all the URLs for all the poems that have been submitted. And here you'll see there is a table with two columns, one with your submissions in and one with all the submissions. So let's look at your submissions. This is for Red Crocodile, and you'll see there are 5 poems that have been validated, 3 of which have failed validation for various reasons. The first one is the uncertainty principle has been entered twice, so it's detected the duplicate poem, and this will be rejected for the next pamphlet. And then it's gone on to look at the first occurrence, the uncertainty principle, and unfortunately here it's not a PDF and the URL is invalid. So unless that's corrected, that one is going to be rejected from the next pamphlet. Similar thing to this poem here, Close as Marrow to the Bone. This is not a PDF and it will be rejected. However, the good news is that 2 other poems, Everything Has Been Considered and The Trouble with Moim, have passed all the validation checks, and in principle they will be accepted for inclusion in the next pamphlet. However, if you take a note, you'll see that there are numbers prefixing the poem titles. Now these are the order, the precedence order in which the poems would be accepted for inclusion in the pamphlet. Remember, only 10 poems can be included. So this one has got the number 11, and that poem didn't make the cutoff. So at the moment, of the 5 poems here, only poem 3 would be included in the pamphlet unless these other 3 poems, the faults are corrected. Over here you get a list of all the poems that are weighted for inclusion, not by name, not by poet, they're simply grouped by poet, and you'll see that in this bracketed first entry there are 5, and it's got a red star which indicates this is this poet's poems. You'll see there are 2 from another poet, 4 from another, 1 from another, and 1 from another. These 2, this one in particular, has got a ×1 next to it, and what that means is of the 2 poems, 1 has failed validation, and of this poet's poems, the poem he or she submitted has failed validation. So you can see you get a lot of information from the CSS command. Very useful, and I recommend you always use it after you've submitted a poem. At the very least, it will check out and make sure the poem is valid. It will give you a precedence number, and from that you can tell whether it's going to be included in the next pamphlet. And if you haven't included an audio link, you might want to think about doing that and having that checked out, because the audio link will give you a 5-day advantage on all of the poems submitted. In other words, it will appear as though you've submitted it 5 days earlier, and that will move it up the queue. I think that's all I have to say about CSS, except to remind you of the helpful information that's in this forum. Thank you.